Entitlement reform is still one of my favorite.
Oh, that one was good.
Entitlement reform might end up still being it.
Oh, wait, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm the anime guy. Shit.
Oh, and there it is. Let's go ahead and put in the sound of bells ringing at Notre Dame because it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We got the first A-word reference.
The bells of Notre Dame.
John, we assumed you loved that one. It was unspoken.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't want to say anything, but it's like, yep. All right, I'm gonna go on just go on a tangent for a little bit and tell you, like, the way I was introduced to the fact that hentai existed was in the early 90s. I was going to Hong Kong to visit family, like, pretty often, and there was this place called the Golden Plaza, which was where the all software piracy took place back then. It was just a 2-story mall full of stalls where you could just go in. It would just be CDs, just
CDs nuts. CDs nuts.
So it was just you just go in. It was just CDs of everything, every software you could think of, every game you could think of, and just tons and tons of pornography. It was great. Like, I was like 12. I was wandering in there all the time. It was fantastic.
Man, China for a 12-year-old's got to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, this was Hong Kong, so it's perfectly safe. So it's like my parents just let me kind of just go around the city unsupervised, which was a little weird. But, it was great. You'd go there, and I would just come back from these trips with a duffel bag full of, like, pirated CDs. And,
CDs nuts.
And I would just be going through them, and you'd just be like, oh, this one's great. It has a weird beta version of Daggerfall on it, and these folders full of, like, hentai pornography. This is great for a 13-year-old.
If you like Daggerfall, you're going to love Five Tentacles.
So you were literally smuggling hentai porn into the U.S. in the 90s?
Yes.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. It was great. Like, that's how I learned.
How could you not grow up to love anime with that sort of...
How did we get here so quickly?
I know. I thought this week we wouldn't fucking talk.
I had
about
nothing to do with it.
You
this
started
time.
you went to Entitlement Reform. It was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to tell this story right now. Just really lay it all out there.
Well, I'm glad you kept to your resolution, which you made 2 minutes ago, to not be that guy.
Oh.
Other great names we came up with: Bay Partisanship. I'm still a fan of that one. Bipartisan Eggyo.
Bipartisan Eggyo is brilliant.
That is brilliant.
I just like to point that out.
We'll probably reuse that so everybody pretend you didn't hear it.
That's like every time Chuck Todd has to go like, well, you're right. I'm sure there are good people that run people over at Antifa protests. Like that's bipartisan Eggyo. That's pretending that every political solution is within a narrow band of 10% of political thought that's directly around the midpoint at any given moment. That's what that is. And it was a good idea. Was it as good as Dawn Lemon Party? I don't know. History will be my judge on that one.
And the one we almost went with was 539.
Oh,
it's one better.
It's just proving that incrementalism works. I love it.
Look, here you are sitting at 538, you fucking dumbass. Everyone's laughing at you. Add one more. Now you're on the top of the heap. Although it just dawned on me. What if someone does 540?
Yeah, then we're getting dunked on.
Then we'd have to change our name to Y'all Qaeda or Y'all Shabab. Although I also like Yallahu Akbar.
Yallahu Akbar is my favorite. Although Hezbollah's is also great.
Hezbollah's is the name of my pickup basketball league. It hasn't gone great.
Having trouble recruiting for that team?
That actually would be a good fantasy football team name. I think I'll save that one for next year.
Feel free to steal it, John.
Oh, thank you.
And then if we had more Gen X people like John, we would definitely have gone with Daria Law.
Oh yeah, no, Daria Law was my favorite.
Daria, say it right.
I'm sorry, Daria Law.
My favorite was Sharia Law.
I'm so glad we didn't go with that, so I didn't have to say that out loud every fucking time.
Own normies.
I'm just imagining you're in a bar, you're talking to someone, you're trying to explain. Oh yeah, I do a podcast for fun on the side. Oh, what's it called? Sharia
Yeah,
law.
it's
I can't
called-
do it.
it's
I'm
called-
from Boston. This does not work at all.
Owned by the jizya.
I want to go through all of them, but there's so many.
Yeah.
Thucydides nuts is also great.
Thucydides nuts. Again, another classic. Brett, I believe. By the way, none of us agreed with this choice, and that's why it wasn't there. But Brett, I believe you pitched Heather Heyo.
That was you, you fucking asshole.
That's okay. That's bad. But if you think that's bad, wait until you see Swipe Left.
Yeah, that was the one I pitched.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
There we go.
Wait,
That's the
wait.
reaction I was shooting for.
I forgot I made a joke as terrible as Harry Potter and the Khashoggi embassy visit.
If we ever talked about it, I mean, if we ever had room to talk about it when we're not talking about China and Florida, we would totally use that as the episode title, but it's never going to happen. We're not a Middle East podcast.
Yet I'm still
Oh, no,
counting on ISIL on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, who even can tell the difference between Shiites and the other one?
Sunnis?
Soon, yeah,
apparently,
yeah.
apparently, like 3 billion people.
Literally everyone but white people in the West.
I'd like to point out that I still stand by Mac nativism. That's for the one person that loves blood and soil, but also the youngest in a K-pop group. That's, I mean, I guess me is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's just describing you. I did, and I keep thinking of this one whenever I see how poorly the media handles Trump, the Fourth Estate sale. That one's
Oh,
fantastic.
wow,
Oh, yeah.
poignant. I mean, not as poignant as read a book my ass, parentheses, I won't read a book.
I love all the ones where it's just acknowledging that we're terrible at leftists.
Oh, you mean the
I
one-
will never
you-
study leftist theory.
You mean that we wrote onto this list twice, fake leftist boys?
I love, I don't even remember who put this, but biological clock blocking is my dating profile now. The very next one is gay Everquest.
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't remember any of these.
I think biological clock blocking is mine.
That's incredible.
Gay EverQuest sounds way too much like yours, Rob.
Gay Everquest rules.
Hellworld Hentai is mine.
I want to call up Sony right now and just be like, if you don't make gay Everquest, you're shitting on a gold mine.
Honestly, if they did a new EverQuest and that's what it was called, I would buy it. I would pre-order that shit.
Do you know they still release expansions for EverQuest every year?
Yeah, because it rules.
They're still doing the like I just heard about it like randomly and went and looked at it, and the art style hasn't changed. It still looks like a game that came out in like 1999, but they're
Correct.
still putting out new content for it. That's insane.
You know, you can actually do vintage EverQuest, like where it's like, hey man, the high point. of my
Wait,
life-
let's just pause for a moment. Vintage EverQuest?
Yeah.
That's an amazing phrase.
They actually have it in WoW too, but who cares? Like,
Yeah, that's
in
only 10 years old.
Remember
13.
when we played in like 2004? They have versions of that game where it was like no quality of life shit, none of, you know, like it's the mission creep thing with MMOs where they
Yeah.
have to keep putting in new shit. And so if you join 10 years in, there's just an overwhelming amount of stuff to manage. Well, if you want to go back to Ruins of Kunark era EverQuest, you can do that and play with other 40-year-old men who really have not had anything happening since that time period.
I'm not playing
So
that, by the way.
Oh, I am. So
Rob definitely is.
Well, I mean, the other thing you said just kind of I needed to clarify.
Rob's
I'm
an
actually-
Rob's an MMO hipster. He's all about that vintage EverQuest.
Some
I would love-
Age of Conan.
Look, I'd love to play some Age of Conan. What was the one with like Hyberia and all that? Age of Camelot.
Dark
that
Ages
was
of
one.
Camelot. Yeah.
Shadowbane. That's for the realists that know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Ultima Online.
Ultima.
I used to play that.
Court Poor for sure.
That's me.
Unfortunately,
That's
I'm-
That's some 1999 age memes right there.
You know, people who died from not taking care of their bodies several years ago are going to love that Court Poor reference. But no, I honestly, the only MMO I play anymore, and I do it casually, is Final Fantasy XIV because the outfits are more kawaii. No further questions.
and with that, let us talk about.
Wait. I'm not done yet.
I was just gonna
noticed-
let that one go. Just gonna.
I just noticed NK pop, Shia booze.
I noticed.
And-
I kind of wanted to save this one for an episode title, but the Weeb International.
That's amazing. That will be an episode title.
God willing, that'll also be our future politic.
There's like half of these are about anime. This is just depressing.
Because you kept
Xanax
laughing, so Rob
crew?
kept coming up with them.
Who is Tuesday? There's one here that just says "We Stan a Queen," and then in parentheses it says Mitch McConnell. I have no memory of that.
Rob's creative process is it all goes blank and crazy shit comes out, and then he wakes up like from a bad dream. What happened? Where am I? Just sweaty and gross.
Oh wait.
That
Aerith,
part checks out.
Aerith dies in darkness.
Aerith? No,
Eris.
Eris.
Final
Have you
Fantasy
played Final
VII,
Fantasy
man.
17, Shinra Corporate.
You're gonna start a fight. Let's not.
Okay, 'cause I will. Actually, it's good you said that because now I can cancel my train ticket to Boston because I was about to whoop your ass for disrespecting. She died so that you might make these dumbass riffs. Anyway, knee how about these nuts?
I'm pretty sure that's mine.
This one's maybe a little dated, but Mason dicks out, possibly for Harambe.
The last time I was in Hong Kong, I did see someone wearing a T-shirt with a picture of a gorilla on it with the slogan from Planet of the Apes, like the ape will never kill ape, with like an R.I.P. Harambe on it. I have no idea if the person understood what the hell was going on with that, but I loved it.
I mean, I don't understand what the hell is going on
Man,
with that.
the Chinese T-shirt people have some innovative stuff.
Oh, it's so good. It's really,
but I
really
can't
good.
tell if they know that it's incredible, or if they're just
It's
slapping shit together.
They know in the same way that everyone who gets like a Chinese tattoo knows what it says. They have no idea.
Yeah, so it's the T-shirt version of English.
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
definitely.
It is a poor attempt to capture something that's going on with Westerners, and usually the errors are so much better than whatever the original content was supposed to be. All right, Rob.
Trying to fuck
more?
Biden? Who wrote that?
Yowie on Ice, Dr. Mario Cuomo. One of these titles just says a duck. And I'm not, having heard them all now, I'm not certain that's not the best.
I mean, we went with something similarly simplistic. So, I mean, there's another one that's just Chuck Todd.
Yeah, there's no humor in that. There's no.
Chuck Todd just sits with you.
Chuck Todd is just, it's amazing that someone who sucks as bad at what he does is as popular and well paid as he is.
He's an inspiration.
Isn't that just the
personally.
quote for every media personality?
Yeah, but Chuck Todd is the high water mark. He's
Think
that
so?
Hunter S. Thompson monologue about the great wave from San Fran that crashed in Las Vegas. When Chuck Todd finally goes down, we'll all mourn him. He just, even watching him, the sensation you get from watching Meet the Press with Chuck Todd is like the sensation you get after eating a triple Whataburger. Like, you're probably not going to die, but the next hour is going to be really rough.